Welcome back, everybody. It's Johnny TCG. I hope you're having a great day. Today we've got another off-meta leader deck list and gameplay video for you. Today we are going to be cooking with Red Purple Kid from Starter Deck 10. His ability is first, during your turn, if you have 4 or more life, this leader has minus 1000 power. That's really inconvenient and makes it so if you want to swing early game with him, you're going to have to use some of your Don for it. And then also when attacking, you can minus 1 Don, and then he actually gains 2000 power for the turn. So that is quite interesting. You need to combo it a little bit, because if you don't have any ramp with it, or a card like Eustace Captain Kidd that allows you to re-ramp one of those Don, it can bring you down and put you in a bad position Don-wise for late game. This is the deck I'm running today. Nothing too out of the ordinary for what you'd expect from a Eustace Captain Kidd Starter Deck 10 deck. A lot of the staples, Kid and Killer, EB01, you'll see it in almost every red deck now. Rush Zoro, Rush Monkey D. Luffy. We've added Mr. 2 Bong Clay, only 2 of them though. And then, of course, 4 Eustace Captain Kidd blockers. And for the top end, we got 9-drop Kaido. I definitely think there's room for improvement with this deck list. It's really hard to find them online. One source that I did look out for inspiration for this deck list is Adakai TCG. I'll put that name in the description. He makes awesome videos, and he was certainly one of my inspirations for making a Red Purple Kid list, or just finding one that I can kind of look to for reference, because there's not many out there. But I really wish this leader was more meta. I wish it was better, because frankly, I don't think it's the best. Let's get into the gameplay. I've yapped enough. First up, we got a game against Hannyabal. I go first. I have no moves, so I pass. They play down the Prince Pellet, return it to their hand, and set it down as active. I've got 3 Don to work with. My leader can't swing this turn unless I invest Don into it. I consider playing the Sanji, but then I decide just to start off with some early pressure and go with the Zoro. The Sanji does have the 2k counter after all, and that is nice to have in hand. Frankly, I have not seen a lot of Hannibals that intimidated me on the sim. It seems like a pretty lackluster leader in general, but maybe with the right person cooking, they could put in a lot of work. They're going to go with Perona, place the cards on the bottom of their deck. We like to see it. And then they're going to play Duval and place the cards on the top of their deck. 5k into Zoro. I'm going to counter out of this with that Sanji. And then they're going to play another Prince Bellet, return it to their hand, and set another Don as active. I've got 5 Don to work with here. I don't have any great plays. I want to save that Monkey D. Luffy rusher for late game, where it could be a real finisher. So I am just going to add Don to Zoro, swing for 7, they block out of it, and then add Don to Eustace Captain Kidd and swing for 7 at their leader. Monkey D. Rusher, what the hell? They're going to play another Perona. They're debating on whether or not to put it at the top or bottom. They played the cards to the bottom of their deck again. They're really not seeing what they want to see. And then they're going to go 5. Maybe not 5. They're going to go 6 at Zoro. I'm going to keep the Zoro alive. They haven't pressured my life at all yet. And this Zoro's just been a great attacker so far. They're going to play the Inazuma, which is from EB01. At the end of their turn, if they have, I believe it's 2 or less cards in their hand, draw 2. I top deck the Reiju. I'm going to play it and use Her ability lets me draw 2 cards, and then I'm going to play the Nami just to search a bit. I do get the Franosuke, which is a good 2k counter to keep. I decide just to go 5 with Zoro into lead, and then I'm going to go 6 into lead with my leader. And because I still have 5 life, I cannot... That's why I'm minus 1000 power on my turn. Very unfortunate, very sad. Wish that ability was not a part of this leader. 7,000 at Zoro. I just have to let it go. They still have 10 Don to work with. They could have donned up their leader, swung again. And I also know that they tend to play 9-drop Kaido, and that would just be able to take it out anyway. They play the 9-drop Kaido, KO my Reiju with its effect, and quite unfortunate. I end up taking that leader swing because now my Eustace Captain Kid leader will be at full power on my turn. It won't be held back by the minus 1000 power. I've got 9 Don to work with here, and I have a couple different options. I decide I'm just going to really pressure their life, or just pressure them in general. I'm going to go 7 with Zoro, swinging at lead. They are going to play out Gum Gum Champion Rifle, not an event I see a ton, and then counter out of it as well, and bounce back the Nami to hand. I'm actually going to play this Nami again, and I get myself a Radical Beam, so I am perfectly cool with that. With 3 Dawn left, I'm just going to give 2 to my leader, and then I am going to swing into their Inazuma. I think, let me know in the comments if you think this is the right play or if I should have went into lead, because if they had 3k counter, the Inazuma would survive, but also I thought it was important to get that off the board. They have another Perona, and this time they are going to play the cards on the top of their deck. We don't like to see it. I imagine the Zoro will not survive to the end of this turn. They're going to play the Prince Bellet. They give 1 Don to their leader, 2 Don to their leader. Will they give 3 Don to their leader? No, 7 into Zoro. I have a lot of cards in hand. I want to push for game. I'm going to save the Zoro with a Gum Gum Jet Gatling. 10 with Kaido. I'm going to be a mad lad and counter out of this. It's using up a ton of my cards, but why not? Let's push for game next turn. And I actually get my own 10-drop Kaido, which is huge. Or 9-drop Kaido, pardon me. I'm going to go 6 with Zoro, I think. I just send that to life. They can counter out of that. Debating on whether or not I want to go into life or get rid of that Kaido. I decide to be a little risky and get rid of the Kaido. That tells me they don't have counter in hand because they would have definitely wanted to keep that Kaido alive. I don't think it would really matter much as I do have that Monkey D. Luffy Rusher in my back pocket. They get their Gravity Blade Raging Tiger off life and use the trigger to bottom deck Zoro. They actually are able to play the 9-drop Sanji into Kaido, which is an absolute epic combo. I'm going to counter out of their 11k swing with Kaido with a Franosuke. They're going to swing 5 at my life. I'm just going to take it. And this game's all but over. I'm going to swing 7 with my leader. It's noteworthy I haven't really used my leader ability much this game, which is interesting. Just really that Zoro put in a lot of work. And then before my Kaido can swing, they disconnect. GG's. Next up, we got a game against Green Yellow Yamato from OP05. One of the most interesting leaders to play against, I think. If you do not have the counter in hand early, you can lose very quickly against this leader. As you can see, I don't have a ton of counter. I do have a Radical Beam. I have the Franosuke 2K, I've got the Reiju. But in this situation, I'm not really afraid of going down on life early because now my leader ability is active and I can start swinging right away. I'm going to go 5 with life into their lead. I still have 4 Dawn to work with. No trigger, lucky me. And then I'm going to play out starter deck 10 Law, use his ability, and make them trash 2 cards. Got the 0 cost event and the 2K Ezo out of their hand, so that's good news. They're going to use Ezo for a 3-drop, and then rest my Law, and then swing 7 into Law. That is fine with me. That I really don't understand that play there. Maybe that was a misclick, but yeah, so I'll take it. That was basically like my Law blocking anyway. I'm going to go 6 in the lead with Red Zoro. I've got a very healthy amount of cards in hand. And then I'm going to give my leader a Dawn and just swing 6. As you may notice, I don't really use Kid's ability that much. If I've got a 5-drop Eustace Captain Kid on the field, then I love using his ability. But I'm trying to ramp a little bit. I do have 9-drop Kaido, that would be nice. But I also have Kid and Killer and Zoro to play. But I don't love going down Dawn every turn, so I don't use it that often. They're going to put Dawn on Ezo and swing at my lead. I'm going to block out of this with Franosuke. I think it might have made more sense for me to block out of the Franosuke. I mean, to hit the Ezo, to let the Ezo one hit and then block out of this Yamato one. I decided just to block out of both, but yeah, I mean, one more life card couldn't hurt. I play down the Kid and Killer. I am debating on which order I want to do this and if I want to attach any extra Dawn. I think I'm going to go just 7 into lead. Let's see if they have it. I have to be really careful with triggers right here. Lucky me, they Onami my Kid and Killer. Not great, but I did already get the value out of it, so I am not sweating. I'm debating on whether or not to play the Zoro. I am, and I'm going to swing into life again. Right here is really risky. I feel like maybe I should have went for the Ezo, but at the same time, they very well could have a Hody Jones, and so yeah, this turn was a little risky of me. I don't know if I, in hindsight, agree with the way I played that. Let me know in the comments down below if you think how you would have handled that turn and what you think I could have done differently, or if you think I made the right play. I think that there's definitely room for improvement there. They're going to use Amaru to rest Nami, power up their leader. They're going to swing 3 into Nami. I'm of course going to let them have that. They've still got 7 Dawn up, so maybe there is a Hody Jones play coming. There's not. They're going to give Dawn to Kikunojo, swing big at my Zoro. I'm going to let them have that. I don't really have a choice. For 5 Dawn, I'm not sure what they're going to play. Okay, they're going to go with Kikunojo. That's fine with me. And then 9,000 to life. I'm going to take it. I get a Zoro and a Kid and Killer. If I didn't have enough rushers already, this is going to be GG's. I am going to play out Zoro first. Swing for 7. This has to hit. No trigger, no trigger. They get the Shirahoshi trigger, but that's not the end of the world. I'm going to play Punk Rotten, which is an absolutely busted card, and then I'm going to swing big at their leader, using leader ability 2. They can't get out of this. GG's. That was a fun one. Our final match of the day is against the Red Zoro, one of the most aggressive leaders in the game. My opponent chooses turn order. They're going to go first. I decide to keep my first hand. They're going to mulligan. One down, they play Buggy and draw a Radical Beam. They are off to a great start. I'm going to play a Searcher of my own, Nami, and I am debating between Red Zoro and Franosuke for the counter. I decide to go with the Franosuke just because I know there are going to be a lot of swings and I'm going to need the counter. I play another Nami, and I have the choice between Starter Deck 1 Rush Luffy and 2K counter Sanji, and I'm going to go with the 2K counter Sanji. They're going to swing 5 into life. I'm going to take this. They've got 3 Don left open. They play out the Curly to Don, draw Nami, and then they're going to play Nami. Let's see what they search. Hopefully not another Radical Beam. Hopefully not a Rusher. They're going to take the Nico Ramen from OP05, the 1-drop. That is one of the better choices I'd want them to take. I'm going to go 5 at lead. They're going to take it. I've got a decent amount of counter in hand, but they do already have 3 characters that can swing on board. They're going to go 5 with Curly to Dan. Should I have given them the 2K? I don't know if that's the right choice. It feels a little early to be doing that. Another 5K, this time with Buggy. I'm going to take this one. I get the Blocker Law, which is good. They're going to go 6 into life. I'm going to counter this. And then they can swing again with Nami if they want. Or are they going to play something else? They're going to play the Nico Robin to KO my Mr. 2 Bon Clay. That is absolutely devastating. I did not see that coming at all, even though I should have. I forget that Bon Clay's attack is normally just 1,000, so huge play on them. Getting the Nico Robin was absolutely awesome. I decided to go with the Eustace Captain Kidd 7-drop here. Make me 1,000 more powerful on the defense, and then also it'll be a body that's really hard for them to get rid of. Now, I could have played Starter Deck 10 Blocker Law and made them trash 2 cards from their hand, but that Law is I'm gonna have to use it real quick, so that's why I didn't go with that play. 6 at me, I'm gonna trash Law to block out of it. Another 6, I'm gonna go with Franosuke counter. Another 6, I'm going to take this and I get the Ragnarok trigger. I'm going to use it and ramp it on. And then I am actually going to use Radical Beam here. I think that turn was a little bit of a misplay. I don't know if I should have done Radical Beam there. Let me know in the comments what you think I should have done. This is a game in particular where I would really appreciate some feedback, some constructive criticism, some mean criticism. It doesn't matter. I appreciate it all. I'm going to go with the 9-drop Kaido here. KO their Sunny-kun. Then I'm going to swing into Curly to Don. And with Eustace Kidd, use his ability to give my leader an extra 1,000 power. Should I have gone into life here and put pressure that way? I feel like going for board gives me the best chance to survive, but I don't really make much headway in terms of defeating them, and I am trying to win the game after all. They're going to play the Magra, power up the Nico Robin. This is very unideal. I only have 2K counter in hand, which is not good. They're going to go 8 into Eustace Captain Kidd, which is very bold. They are going to play down the Makino to power up the Nami. Don't tell me they're going to swing at the Eustace Captain Kidd again. I wish they would have just went for my life. They're debating on what they want to do. Maybe they will just go for my life. And then maybe play down Kid and Killer. That would be a great play as well. They are going to play down the another Makino. Power up the Nami again. This is absolutely ridiculous. This man is cheating. I'm gonna report them. There's no way this could happen. Of course, just kidding. They swing 10 at the Eustace Captain Kid. I gotta let it die. I have no choice. And they actually could have taken out my Kaido if they wanted to. So I am not in a great position at all. I'm just gonna swing 2. I'm debating on how I want to do this. I can kind of feel the writing on the wall with about 8 cards in hand, or 7 cards in hand. I am not going to be able to go for game this turn. I don't really have a ton of options. I can Ragnarok and get rid of Nami. And then I can swing and get rid of these last 2 characters. That's the good news. The bad news is I only have 1k of counter in my hand. I'm debating on whether or not it's worth swinging at these characters or not. Part of me thinks I should just maybe go for Pressure Life. But knowing Zoro, those characters can become viable swingers in no time. They're going to attach 1 Don the leader. That is to be expected. And they're going to play out the Kid and Killer. This is no good. We are in danger. Insert that one Simpsons meme. Just kidding. My editor is actually on vacation this week. I have to let the Kaido go. That is really unfortunate. All I have is a 1k Nico Robin. They're going to go 6 at Nami. I've got to let it go. And now it's my turn. I actually get the Kid and Killer, which is a pretty good top deck. I think I should have swung here first, maybe. It would have maybe gotten some counter out of their hand and just maybe make them not sure of what my next move was going to be. I get lucky and the Kid and Killer dies off of my Kid and Killer, and then I swing 8 into their lead and they are able to get out of it. They're going to go 6 into the Kid and Killer, and unfortunately I can't counter that. So there goes that. And then 6 into life with their Zoro. Nothing I can do about that. They're going to play the Curly to Dawn. Reveal and draw Nami. They're going to play Nami. They're going to draw the Radical Beam. It's not looking good, folks. Put an F in the chat if you've made it this far and are still here to watch me slowly lose to this Red Zoro. I get the Eustace Captain Kid blocker. I'm going to play it out and then swing with my leader. I'm debating on whether or not to leave a Dawn up in case I get a Radical Beam from life. I decide that I can use it because my leader ability in conjunction with kids will bring me 1 active. I swing at lead, it doesn't matter. They're able to get out of it. And then they send 6 into my life. I can get out of this, but we all know what's gonna happen. Rush Luffy. Piece of cake for them. GG's. Those are all the games I got for you today, folks. Thank you for watching. The verdict is this leader does not cook. That is news to nobody, really. Not many people play Red Purple Kid, and there's a reason why. But I definitely want to give it more practice. I definitely want to refine the list a little bit more. Let me know in the comments what you think I can do to improve it. I really appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My wife says that if I do not get 5 likes on this video, I do not get dinner tonight. So, if you want me to be well fed, leave a like. Peace.